With Splatoon 3 releasing in less than a month, people are as hyped as ever, and that's clearest with how many videos creators are pumping out right now. I've seen people cover Salmon Run, weapons, specials, the stages, information outside of the direct, and just general predictions. One thing I've generally seen overlooked, though, is the new card game, Table Turf Battle. What can we actually expect from this new mode? For a brief overview, for those who haven't watched the direct or have simply forgotten, Table Turf Battle is a 1v1 card game which seems to function much like Turf or Objective-wise, with different cards painting different areas to reach the end goal, having more squares painted than the enemy at the end. There isn't that much known yet, but we know there are special attacks that can be used to unleash a strong attack on the enemy to shake things up. My hope is that it can be played in multiplayer and against the CPU if you want to. I, for one, will definitely be playing this mode. I don't know how long it'll keep my interest, but there are collectibles. There are cards I can get. In fact, the Direct has promised a lot of cards. Over 150 of them. I want them all. Give me the cards, Nintendo. Other than compulsively collecting anything Splatoon related, I don't much care for card games outside of it being a pastime with my family, since they generally don't want to play video games with me. Because of this, I've decided to bring on the most reliable card game experts in the world to share their thoughts. My teammates Golden and Chip. Okay, you two have both played Pokemon TCG Online, right?
Yeah, but
Yes. Yeah,
yeah,
and I've also played a good bit of Yu-Gi-Oh and Duel Links.
Okay, so would you describe yourselves as experts on all card games?
no.
No.
That's the incorrect
But
answer.
but I do know a good bit around games, but I don't know like anything super specific.
Okay, so how do you feel about the new Splatoon card game?
I feel like it's pretty cool, and it's something you could kind of go to if you're tired of shooting with your gun and you just want to do something else and just want to have a chill time without being with anyone else, and it doesn't need to have to involve around shooting people with your gun.
Very insightful. Goldeb, how do you feel about Table Turf Battle?
In my opinion, the mode is gonna be kind of like amiibos are in like Smash. If they have like amiibos actually have like competitive amiibo makers, even with how funny that sounds, and they're very dedicated onto it. Like they
That
even have like tournament. They even have tournaments for it. Like I think it's gonna have like its own competitive scene if it has online. With but it's Nintendo. It's not gonna have online. But like there's like it can't. Like I'm not sure if it will or if it won't. It definitely could, and I'm hoping it does. But it definitely also just it could also just definitely happen that it just doesn't.
Yeah.
even more
Like,
insightful.
people wanted to do something else. So a lot of people wanted, like, apartments or some shit. We still kind of got apartments with lockers. But I feel like a lot of people just wanted to play Splatoon, but sometimes they just wanted to do something else. So there you go. Maybe not what you wanted, but you got something.
Like it's definitely very different from like actual Splatoon because like honestly, the first thing that came to mind when I saw it was actually a mini game from of all things like Dr. Kawashima's brain training because that has like a it kind of also has a mode where you need to like capture territory. Is it like I feel like there's gonna have a very similar thing with that, and that like it will probably just be based on locking your opponent out if you cannot paint on top of the opponent. Which still probably will because it's a tabletop version of Turf War. It's like, but what I'm more interested in is that is it going to be like Yu-Gi-Oh in that if you have a card and you can play it, you can just play it no matter what, or will it be like kind of like Hearthstone where you have like a certain amount of moves every turn. Like, I'd say, like, if you have a spell card and you can use it, like, it doesn't matter if you've used 10 spell cards already, you can still use it. So
Right.
like Hearthstone, you have like I can't remember the real name, so I'm just gonna say mana. Like you have like mana, and you can let's say you have a card that takes 3 mana and you have 6 mana. Then you use it, and then you also want to use a card with 4 mana. Now you can't because you've already used the 3.
I thought it was like Tetris or some shit. I didn't think it was Turf War, but now I realized.
Yeah, they said it in the direct.
I hope they can have like, because did I have that you can open like packs?
We know nothing about that to my knowledge.
But if they do, it would be really cool, and then you could have Splatoon TCG. That would be so funny.
Yeah, this already seemed honestly like many people already said they hope that this would be a real life thing, and honestly, I agree. It's like
They start
It's
selling
not
it on
done.
fucking toy stores.
yeah,
Splatoon card.
yeah,
I
and
want all the cards.
let's say the Mister Grace card is way too good, so then that costs like $200. Like it definitely like if it doesn't have online, it will die before it even is alive.
It has to have online, and
Yeah.
it definitely can have, but I don't know if Nintendo wants it to have online. But maybe.
Yeah. Like without online, it's gonna get boring very
I
very
just
fast.
feel like it's. I just feel like it's gonna be like weapons that cover less paint are just gonna be unusable, like Junior, because that weapon's so incredibly small. But I don't know what it has to compensate that you can use it more often. I don't know.
But like I said, like honestly, it's confusing because there's the Hearthstone example that I said, but then there's also the fact that in the direct they said that like in the part with Table Turf they had like is that this part in the direct there's like oh you have 10 turns left. Like that just makes me wonder how how do the turns work?
You probably place a card and then I don't know.
Like it's like and then they show more of the cards like what the hell are like the orange dots? Like what do those mean?
Like, I'm assuming they have online on it,
They're
because
probably
if
the
not,
specials.
Yeah, that's true.
it's
That's
not a
true.
it's not a good idea if they don't have. Like, there's
Because
literally no reason to have it if there's no. It's
it,
actually so important, because you can't play against fucking bots all the time. That's just work.
actually another thing about it, the orange dots might also just mean how many orange dots you need to already have on.
It
Like, if
might
it's
be
Or the-
it
far,
might
it
be
seems
blocks
to
that
be.
can't be painted over because you got them with a special or something.
I don't know.
It
Yeah.
seems pretty fun. I'm not gonna do it a lot though.
Like it definitely like if it doesn't have online, it's gonna die super fast. If it does have online, it's gonna be honestly maybe even pretty popular.
Yeah, seems like r- the real game is just gonna be more fun. But if you're like, oh fuck, I don't wanna play, you can just do that instead.
Yeah.
Like,
Please just tell
it
me
feels
why.
like a mobile game. It's like Splatoon, but you don't shoot at squids, so it's like a fucking mobile turf war with blocks.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, now that it's basically just a mobile game. It could definitely just be played on mobile if they made it work.
Okay,
But
thank you, my amazing card experts, for joining and
Damn.
sharing your
you're
insights.
welcome. It was because, yeah.
Damn. It was because, yeah. Imagine if it really was just Tetris but Splatoon. Thank God Chip the Omniscient Card Lord was not so all-knowing after all. So overall, how's this card game looking? There are three broader categories I want to look at in a bit more detail from what my comrades brought up. The actual gameplay, its function as an alternative to the main game, and the potential competitive scene surrounding it. Firstly, let's look at the gameplay. Looking through the direct again, it seems that our dear old Captain's Hearthstone comparison might have some merit to it, since there seem to be different quantities of orange squares on the card with different weapons. This might also possibly mean that the card needs to be touching that many orange, or whatever color you have squares, in order to be placed down, though I'm much less confident on this part. At the same time, the players are also shown to take turns placing down their cards. Because of the starter pack shown in the direct, I think there might indeed be more packs that you'll get to open as you get more cards in the game. I have absolutely no confidence in how I think capturing territory will work, but at least with special attacks, the direct does already show captured territory being painted over in the other player's color. A lot can change between now and when the game actually releases, so I wouldn't put as much emphasis on this section as the other two. Moving on to its role in Splatoon 3 overall, the game does seem relatively simple and intuitive to understand, much like a mobile game as previously mentioned. This definitely makes it a good alternative to the hectic gameplay normally found in Splatoon when you just want to have fun with a different kind of game. Sure, it'll absolutely still have its intense moments, but it's refreshing for sure. And finally, arguably the most important point, whether there is even an opportunity for this to grow a competitive scene or not. If this game does not have multiplayer, especially online play, this shit will be forgotten so fast. Please, Nintendo, even though I usually don't much care for card games, just let me play this thing with my friends. It looks so fun. Let me know what you guys all think about this. I haven't seen that many people talking about this, so I'd be interested to hear more people's opinions. Thank you all for watching, and have a lovely day.